Finally, I obtained the epic bacon sword of Reddit. Hey, that sword is maxed out at 4 stars, by the way. You might want to get a different one. Spiral Knights. A game with an immense amount of soul and personality. A well-designed, very replayable dungeon crawler MMO, one that despite having been somewhat forgotten by its developers, still has a very lovely and passionate community. I love Spiral Knights. It is one of the few multiplayer games that I played in my childhood, so I make it a habit to revisit it from time to time, just for the sake of nostalgia. Despite the fact that each time I come back to the game, the streets of Haven seem more and more barren than before, I end up having just as much fun playing it as I did all those years back. Chances are, if you did play the game religiously like I did, you initially installed it just to get a TF2 hat, just like me. But then, countless hours have passed, you did get the hat, and it was great. I mean, like, hey, anything to make your little free-to-play head a little bit less empty. But what truly stuck with you were the many experiences you had while playing the game. So, do you remember Spiral Knights? This video is not going to be about why Spiral Knights quote-unquote failed or died, nor do I really know the exact details on the game's development and potential community dramas. In fact, the game still seems to be getting some updates. As of writing the script, they just added a level editor and seem to have more planned, so maybe a resurrection is in order. Spiral Knights is a top-down— hello, thank you by the way for skipping ahead with sponsor block. Spiral Knights is a top-down dungeon crawling MMO, but it's not really an MMO. Okay, well, yes, it is one technically, and while it does feature things such as guilds or hub areas with hundreds of players walking by, trading, etc., only up to 4 players can be in one dungeon crawling session at a time. So you never really experience any of the typical MMO experiences like large raids or anything of the sorts. And honestly, it doesn't even need 4 players to be enjoyable. You can play the game solo, or perhaps with just one friend, or maybe your partner, or maybe your tulpa. That's the beauty of this game. Even though the community is not as lively as it used to be when I was a child, and there aren't as many people to talk to, you can still find somebody to play with if you just ask, or you can simply hit your friend over and over until they install the game and then have fun together that way. It is free to play after all, that's the big thing. You can just play it now. And if you don't like it, that's okay, you didn't lose money. And even if you don't have friends or don't feel like being social, you can just play alone and still have just as much fun. Maybe put on a podcast in the background, or maybe listen to my streams. The core gameplay loop, buzzwords, is that you and your friend go down an elevator into the mysterious clockworks, the mechanical depths of the planet you crash landed onto. Each level of it is randomly generated, with different layouts, different elemental themes, different enemy families, etc. Intertwined with the occasional bosses and special levels, can you reach the core of the planet and solve all the mysteries the game has to offer? Well, no, you cannot. They never gave us a satisfying finale, or a finale at all. Sucks because the world building is great. By levels having elemental themes, I mean like literally elemental, like fire, poison, sleep, shock, ice. And enemy families means things like undead, slime, gremlin, fiend, lichen. You can take a glance before your expedition at what the potential levels will be, although there's always an element of random chance, as each depth picks one from a selection of a few randomly generated level outcomes, so you'll never truly know where you're gonna end up until you actually end up there. And by the way, if you end up in this specific level solo, trust me on this, either call your friends to join you or just leave. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. The game features a large variety of gear, split between 3 different weapon families: shields, armor, accessories, pets, and other such things. You can mix and match pretty much every weapon type, either going full swords, swords and bombs, guns and bombs, one of each, etc. No matter what category of weapon you pick, a run is always fully possible to win, as long as your gear is of the adequate level. I love using bombs, by the way, there's something fun about it. And while the game does feature a bit of a grind like every MMO, especially when it comes to the heat system or crafting the top of the line gear, it's not that horrible. It's okay, maybe it's a bit horrible, but like I'm a bit biased because I like grinding in games a little bit too much maybe. But really though, it shouldn't be unbearable unless you try to get some of the rarer stuff that other players sell in the auction house. But frankly, you don't need that shit anyway. Most of the rare expensive gear you can find there are just reskins of already existing weapons or just cosmetics. However, there is something funny about melting zombies with a hot cup of cocoa. I actually was gonna get this cup. I actually almost got this cup. I was betting real hard. I was putting all my crowns into it, but somebody always outbid me last second. Fuck this guy, whoever is it. I want my cup. I want my cup. I want my cocoa. I want my cocoa. Give me my cocoa. Give me. Almost everything in the game can be obtained without spending real money, technically, as far as I'm aware. The premium currency is called energy. Energy. And while you can pay real money for it, it'd be kinda like spending money on monkey money in Bloons Tower Defense 6. I mean, I have monkey money, what else am I gonna do with it? Remember tickets in Roblox? Remember when you could buy Robux using tickets? Imagine that, but with crowns and energy. You can buy energy using crowns, you can trade it in. This one goes out to all the Gen Alphas and Zoomers in the audience who grinded away day after day to get themselves one singular hat for 10 Robux, because their parents thought that any kind of internet purchase was a scam. Hopefully I have no Gen Alpha kids watching this actually. I'd like to keep my audience 18+, thank you very much. I know, I'm just gonna insult every kid slop that I know. You're just gonna scare them away. I hate Ban Ban, I hate Dandy's World, I hate Grow a Garden, I hate Steal a Brain Rot, I hate Murder Drones, I hate Digital Circus, I hate the atmosphere of this game, the art style, the music, it's all just so unique. Cold and determined, yet cartoony and heartwarming at the same time. The closest I've ever seen another game get to Spiral Knight's feel was Slime Rancher, funny enough. And that's only because it was made by some of the same devs. If I'm not spewing misinfo, I don't know, I could be wrong. Everything is very well designed, thought out, and fresh looking. Looking good even nowadays, now that the graphics are a bit outdated on a technical level. I mean, the game still looks really appealing to the eye. For example, the knights are intentionally designed to be more detailed and colorful at the head and less so at the legs and feet due to the game's angled top-down perspective. There's something about the world that makes it feel alive. And in the current gaming landscape, it's a feeling I don't really experience too often anymore. There's depth to this world. It does make me want to reach my hand out and feel the cold metal of the clockwork walls. I do have a fascination though with looking at skyboxes and admiring game areas in general, as seen in another one of my videos that you didn't watch. And I remember as a kid, I would always catch myself looking at the clockwork gears as they slowly spun away in the background. I would wonder, are there other players down there fighting their own wars at the moment that I just can't see as they're just too far away? I know it doesn't work that way, like I was a kid, okay? It doesn't help that the game wants you to look at the skybox. Due to the top-down angle, like I said, it's rarely absent from your view. There is a campaign, with a story that's a bit cartoonish but still quite fun. There's also a DLC campaign that gives you unique weapons and a bit more story. However, I don't really think it's necessary to have the DLC to enjoy the game, but it is very fun to thwack people with a rocket hammer. And the bomb as a bomb connoisseur is just perfect, it's just so fucking perfect, I love it, especially against the Slime King, it's just perfect. There's something very interesting about ganging up with your friends, going through the story campaign together to get stronger, and seeing how you deviate from the starting proto gear. You all look relatively the same in the beginning, but down the line, soon enough, you'll be specializing in something else. One of you will become a tank, which supposedly is really bad in this game, but fuck you, I love tanks, fuck you, fix this. One of you is a ranger, staying far away and spamming gunfire at everything so it ricochets from enemy to enemy. One of you is a striker, swinging your melee weapon wildly at anything that moves. And one of you is me, who just throws random fucking bombs everywhere, weehee! The game is just friend slop then, it's fun with friends. It's quality slop because you only like it because it's good. It's spiral slop, you only like it because it's spiral. Yeah, it's honestly better than most of the friend slop you guys are playing nowadays. And honestly, I'm gonna keep saying it, play it, play it, play it, play it, play it. Play it, play it. Don't play any more Are We There Yet or whatever comes out by the time of this video being uploaded, but like, whatever, just play this game instead. It's free. You don't have to spend any money. Oh, it's just $5. It's good with friends. It's just $5. Get it. It's free, get it. But I think it's about time for me to go down memory lane a little bit. Because, well, there's a lot of memories I have with this game. I don't really know how to cohesively put these thoughts together in any order that makes sense. Especially since my memories are a bit scattered. I am a bit of a scatterbrained person, and I do suffer from a little bit of memory loss. Snarbollax, the first boss of the game and my biggest up. But he's so cute though, like yeah, he's so cute dude. I remember I would always fight this boss over and over again, simply to flex on the newer players. I just joined anybody who was playing the boss mission in a public lobby with my super over-leveled gear, and I just dunk on a stupid fucking thing. None of the other players cared though, like they didn't actually give a fuck. And in fact, I'm pretty sure they found me annoying for taking away the challenge from the fight. But hey, it's their fault for letting me in. Yes, I'm victim blaming, but seriously though, fuck that bell. I don't know what's up with it. There's like a bell in the arena, you're supposed to hit it when Snarbollax comes by, and then he becomes stunned and you can actually start damaging it, because otherwise he's immortal. But there's something about that bell, it's my biggest op, it just doesn't work half the time. See? What the fuck is that? I hate it! You know, now I'm realizing that I never got that far into the game as a kid. My first night, which featured a very prominent misspelling in its username, never got past the Romulus twins. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, sorry. Which is the third boss fight of the game, if I remember correctly. A pair of giant twin cannons that also look like cute doggos. Reddit wholesome chunker popper. Wholesome upvote seal. I think I simply lacked the courage to actually fight them. Something about the area was just ominous to me. I was way too antisocial to actually seek help from people. I know I could have just made a public lobby without saying anything and let people join me, but that's scary too, okay? That's scary. That's just scary. What if they talk to me? What if they talk to me? Oh god, by the way, I remembered. The game actually does feature voice chat. Thankfully, nobody ever uses it, but like the one time I actually found somebody using it, I didn't even know the game had voice chat, so I thought there was a virus on my PC. And there probably was, to be honest with you, considering I was a kid who downloaded Minecraft mods from free Minecraft mod xxx.ru with the little adfly links. Anyway, years later I came back to the game, around 2015 or so, and decided to explore it further than ever before. I actually kind of completed the campaign. Okay, not really, I never beat the final boss, but I reached him, that's close enough. One random funny story I remember is that there was this one rare shield that would sometimes drop from the highest level goblin twackers. When it was Shadow released, it was a bit of a rumor and a myth, and it wasn't confirmed anywhere that those enemies actually dropped it. It was worth a lot of in-game money, and because Steam added cross-game trading, me, who was a little addicted to TF2 at the time, decided to boot up Spiral Knights again and try to grind away to find one of them. Just to become rich and maybe trade it for like an unusual or something. Which I never got one, ever, in my history of TF2. I missed the Great Depression too, fucking I missed it. I never found it obviously, because I'm a lucklet. But I remember grinding the same levels over and over like a madman. And that was before podcasts, and before most YouTube videos were actually YouTube audios with a guy standing in a room holding a microphone. Another get-rich-quick scheme I devised was using the Steam Marketplace. There were a few cosmetic armor sets for Spiral Knights that could be obtained from the Steam Marketplace as a part of some promotional event. I think it was like a summer event, and they were worth cents, but in-game they could be sold for quite a lot of crowns. Or well, it seemed like they were. In reality, I was literally just burning money, because I was just too young to understand the rules of economics and all that shit. So I saw that the armor set was only like a few cents, like I think it was like 20-30 cents on the marketplace, but sold for like 50,000 crowns or something, and I was like, damn, that's free money. But then I like tried to spend those crowns on like TF2 items, and I realized that like it was actually worth less than the cents I spent on the items, like. And each item could only be redeemed once per account, like Steam account. So I had to keep asking my different friends to install the game, get the items, trade with me, then stop playing. And I had to ask each friend individually, one time each. I wasn't stupid, I was just naive. And a little stupid. Okay, I was just stupid. Years later, I came back to the game again, and this time I decided to jumpstart myself a little bit. I logged onto all my other knights, sold literally everything I had, and transferred all the crowns to the new account that I made. Starting my game with like 200,000 crowns was fun, until I realized that shit was gonna run dry quick once I actually start getting to the high level gear. 10,000 crowns for one single recipe, like... But I did actually beat the game this time. I went with a gunner loadout with the Chaos armor, which is very original. It's the meta, it's not. It's like, it's the meta. It's the... Video about why I hate metas in games coming eventually, maybe. However, I did start the game as a tank initially, and then realized tanking is just completely worthless, as not only is one of the only armor sets that slows you down and like gives you a debuff, but also makes you more vulnerable to sleeping, which, well, okay, that doesn't really matter much, but most late game enemies kill you in 3 hits no matter what, even if you have like trillions of armor. Sadly, it's better to dodge than it is to tank, but I don't know, why do games hate tanks so much? You're either the most important person on the team that like everyone yells at you if you like do anything wrong, or you're made of paper. And believe me, I know a thing or two about that. My current knight, the one that I'm using for the background footage, is somewhat relatively new still, and still only like the mid game. So maybe you'll randomly find me in the game, just like walking around in Haven. You can say hello if so. Merry Christmas to everybody and Happy New Year's, and hope you all have a good year this year. Make sure to check my Twitch and make sure to check my YouTube videos if you like them, and make sure to like, I don't know, say hello. And now it's time for the yearbook. First we have Danielle with the same quote as last time. Tummy Ache Survivor 2025, which is about to be 2026 soon. Then we have Sophus, which is Then we have Sophus, who is still missing, by the way, after the quarry incident in the last video. But Softcorp is still making merch without him. Get your Schneck Pringles can today. And then we have Viewbot, Scratchback. Since I'm feeling jolly, you don't have to pay for your 500 Viewbots this month. The arc just keeps going. What the fuck? Ho ho ho, and Merry Christmas. Ho ho ho.